Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is named the worst job interview question of all time. What is your biggest weakness? Let's start with how not to answer this question. Welcome, candidate 1. Have a seat. Let's jump right in. What's your biggest weakness? I'm not a morning person. I barely make it to the office on time. I have kleptomania. I have taken a few stuff from the office. Well, except the copier, security would have noticed me taking it. Can I have back my pen, please? This, your pen? I think not. Next. Let's try this again. What's your biggest weakness? I am thinking, take your time. Actually, I don't have any weaknesses. I am just perfect the way I am. In my 15 plus years of interviewing, I have to say not many candidates answered this question well. I see many job seekers walk into this booby trap and self-sabotage themselves. No need to panic. I am giving away all of my job search masterclasses for free. Yes, for free. Do you want to get one step closer to landing your dream job? Watch this video to the end and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. By the end of this video, you will be able to effectively identify and choose your weaknesses. I will also show you my formula to answer this question and provide you with 2 sample answers, 1 hard skill and 1 soft skill, which you can use as a baseline to craft your response. Before we start, here are some don'ts. Don't tell the interviewer that you don't have any weaknesses, as we really hate this answer. Everyone has weaknesses. There must be something you are not good at. It's best to own it and work on becoming the best possible you. 2. Don't give these cliche answers as, I work too hard, I care too much, I am a perfectionist. As HR managers, we are tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. It does nothing to make you stand out. 3. Don't give a strength disguised as a weakness. It's an old tactic and we can see right through it. 4. Be honest, but not too honest. Don't be too candid. Some people get carried away and give TMI, too much information. Don't ramble on and don't overspill or try to over-explain yourself. Remember, you are in a job interview. You are not discussing your personal shortcomings with a therapist. I had candidates say things as the ladies, alcohol, to another one said lying. Yes, lying. That's a good way to self-eliminate yourself. We hire people we can trust. Please give your professional weaknesses. Give examples that are work-related or business appropriate. Don't tell us something that would make you look really bad. You want to earn the respect of the hiring manager. Remember, you want to present the best possible you, and you are in control of what you say. It's about making a great first impression. You have the skills, but you will have to ace those interviews. Being asked about your weaknesses in an interview can be intimidating. It's easy for us to talk about what we are good at, but it gets difficult when we have to admit our weaknesses, especially when the clock is ticking and the interviewers are staring at you with blank faces. Let's begin. Why do interviewers like to ask this question? Firstly, it's a behavioral check question and they gain a huge amount of insight about you. The interviewer wants to test your honesty and we are hoping to find out your weak spots or see if your answer will expose a major flaw. We want to know if you can do the job well. Are you self-aware? Are you a continuous learner? Can you recognize your limitations? Do you take personal accountability? Are you a good fit for the organization? Will you be a troublesome employee? Do you have any serious flaws that might affect your ability to perform in this role? It's basically a question to assess your character and personality. The interviewer is hoping they will catch you off guard. If your weakness is that you have a bad temper, you may come across as someone who will be difficult to work with. All employees have flaws. People make mistakes. As a hiring manager, we expect to give constructive criticism to our employees, and we want individuals on our team who can handle this well and show improvement. Interviewers can also ask this question in many ways. What are your weakest skills or areas? What is your worst trait? Is there any area of your skill set that you feel still needs work? If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? What would your manager or colleagues describe as your biggest weakness? Tell me about a developmental goal that you have set for yourself. Describe a difficult work situation and what you did to overcome it. Take a note of how exactly they pose this weakness question. Tailor your response accordingly so it will come across as natural. Here are my 5 tips to effectively answer this question. Tip 1. Identify your weaknesses. How to do this? Most people have several weaknesses. Do some self-reflection. To be able to properly answer this question requires some preparation and practice. Make a list of your possible job weaknesses in advance. Start by asking yourself the following. What qualities do you need to improve on? Is there a work-related skill you don't do well? What have your supervisor or manager noted in past performance reviews as areas where you needed improvement? Here are some weaknesses you can use as avoiding necessary conflict, closed-mindedness, talkative, focusing on one task at a time, micromanaging, being too honest, limited knowledge of a particular software. What if you still can't figure out your weaknesses? It's easy to see the flaws of others, but it can be very difficult to see our own. If you are still finding it difficult to assess your weaknesses, ask someone to help. Try asking a close friend or family member who knows you well to be really honest with you, or you can just simply take a personality type quiz online and the results will show you. Next step, review the job description. Look at the requirements and responsibilities for this position. Identify what qualifications, skills, and experience are required for the job. Make sure it is a weakness not linked to the job. Here's a sample job description for an office manager. Notice the skills. Good verbal and written communication, clerical support for all office staff, answer telephone and greet visitors, reports to executive director. You can tell for this job you need great people skills, time management, and organizational skills, even if it is not stated. This is why you need to carefully review the job description and compare it with your list. Saying that you are inflexible or impatient is an automatic disqualifier for this type of job where you need to interact a lot with people. Choose skills that are not essential for the role. For example, a salesperson who hates meeting new people or an accountant who does not pay attention to details are complete deal breakers. Trying to come back from that can be pretty tough. Knowing what the interviewer is looking for is the best way to avoid showing yourself in a negative light and can help turn the question to your advantage. And this is what you want. Also, do research on the company's culture. This can help you decide which weaknesses not to highlight. The key is to actually ponder this question. Challenge yourself and write down your true weaknesses. Instead of just focusing on formulating the perfect answer for the interview, pick something you genuinely struggle with. Then really work on your weaknesses so that your answer will be authentic. You will make a better impression if you are sincere. As a hiring manager, I can hear the passion in your voice and I see how your eyes light up because you are being sincere. Your answer will fall flat if it's not truthful. We can tell if you are making things up or not telling the truth. We want people who have a realistic view of their capabilities. Tip 2. Choose 2 or more weaknesses that you have made improvements in, since the interviewer may start with what is your biggest weakness, and follow up with what are some other weaknesses that you might have. Or if you had to pick another weakness, what would it be? Make sure to select a fixable weakness. Your weakness needs to be something that you could feasibly improve through personal effort. Weaknesses usually fall into one of two categories: hard skills, technical skills such as computer skills, foreign languages, or knowledge of a particular software or program. Soft skills, on the other hand, are more of your people skills and ability to interact with others, such as communication skills, things as delegation, confrontation. When choosing your weaknesses, it should not be a personality trait that is very difficult to change. Focus on your behaviors, which can be changed. One candidate said this as his answer: I get annoyed with people who do not keep their appointments and who do not take their work seriously. Sometimes I lose my temper to the extent that I won't allow them to participate in the meeting. Being short-tempered is a red flag for us. Ask yourself, will this weakness make me look bad? Don't plant seeds of doubt in the hiring manager's mind. Give a legitimate weakness, but focus on how you've transformed your weakness into a strength. Emphasize to the employer that this is only a temporary state and you are actively making an effort to turn this into one of your strengths. Strengths and weaknesses go hand in hand. For example, closed-mindedness, embrace diversity; talkative, active listening; avoiding necessary conflicts, develop emotional intelligence; focusing on one task at a time management; micromanaging, delegating tasks; being too honest, empathy; overthinking, better decision making. In essence, you are competing against other candidates who have similar skills and experience. Important tip: answer every question with a focus on telling the interviewer why they should pick you over the other 5 to 10 people we are also interviewing for this job. This presents you with an opportunity to stand out. Make it work in your favor. Tip 3. Tell a story. Once you have chosen your weakness, include a story where you successfully overcame your weakness. The best way to approach this question is to minimize the negative trait and emphasize the positive. Craft a story to put your weakness in the best possible light. Describe how that trait has been a challenge for you in the past. Mention a specific situation. Keep it in the past. Don't put yourself down by dwelling on your weaknesses. Try not to mention negative superlatives. Don't start your answer by saying, one of my weaknesses is, my worst trait is, I am bad at this. This we will remember. You always want to focus on the positives when interviewing. Focus on turning your weakness into a strength as you show a willingness to learn and grow. You want to position yourself effectively. Match your answers with a positive tone and body language. Start answering by saying something like this instead: my greatest opportunity to learn is, one skill I am currently working on, one area I've been working to improve is, in the past I had a habit of. Tip 4. Emphasize the concrete steps you took to improve. Talk about how you've conquered the weakness. Show that your weakness is something you've worked to overcome and won't hinder you in your job performance. What are some of the ways you can use to improve yourself to address a weakness? Take a workshop or class online. Get training, internal or external. Read books. Use tools such as apps to correct the weakness. Work with a mentor. Watch tutorial videos on YouTube. Join professional groups or associations. Do volunteer work or an activity outside of work that uses that skill. Don't lie. I caught a candidate red-handed when I asked, could you tell me the name of the book you read? He looked like a deer caught in headlights and couldn't answer. Next. Also, be sure to watch your facial expressions. You may be super passionate or just thinking, but you don't want to come across as angry or frowning. Remember to smile every once in a while. Tip 5. Showcase the results you've gotten from your actions. How did this situation play out since you improved? Point out how your actions have resulted in success. Most people ignore this step, but it helps to seal the deal. We love to see results. Talk about how others have acknowledged your progress. Did your manager note this in your performance review? Very important. Include colleague or manager testimonial. My supervisor complimented me on my progress and removed this as one of my areas to improve. It's best here to illustrate successes with details and quantifiable results if you can. Slip in some numbers in here to reinforce the impact that your action had. Here are 2 sample answers incorporating all we have learned. First, here is a soft skill. Over talking or talkative, and the corresponding strength is active listening. This is something we can all relate to, and everyone at any level can use it. If you are a fresh graduate, just replace work with school experiences, right? Use it and tailor it to your own. What is your biggest weakness? One skill I have been working on is active listening. In the past, I would talk a lot in meetings. Many times I would be guilty of starting a conversation and putting a thought or question out there, but didn't listen to what others have to say. I was so busy talking or formulating my response, and it caused work relationship problems with my team because they felt they were not being heard or respected. My behavior caused the more introverted team members to remain quiet in meetings. Sometimes they would have good ideas but would prefer not to share them since I came across as dominating in the meetings. My manager noted this as one of my development areas in my performance appraisal. To change this habit, I started to read books and took online courses on communication and emotional intelligence. I also acquired a certificate of completion for these courses. What stuck with me is that listening shows that you care, and the quality of our listening determines the quality of our influence. Currently, I have built stronger relationships with my team members and clients because of active listening and a greater focus on empathy, putting myself in the shoes of others. Instead of just touching the surface of issues, I have been able to go to the root causes and solve more problems. Additionally, the quality of my work improved as a result of listening to expert advice from those around me. Now in meetings, I encourage everyone to speak up and openly welcome more diverse perspectives. When employees offer their ideas and differing opinions, I listen. I welcome honest feedback. This has allowed me to grow as a person and as a leader. My personal motto now is lead with listening. This has resulted in employee engagement rising to 60% in our department. My manager praised me for this improvement. When I finished reading the books, I donated them to our department's library because I think everyone could benefit from being better listeners, especially in this digital era. My manager is actually reading the same book right now. He was so impressed, he recommended me for a project which included leading a team of 5 people. Do you have another weakness? Right, this one is a hard skill. One area I've been working on to improve is my PowerPoint presentation skills. Although an advanced level was not a requirement for the job, I wanted to produce more creative and engaging content since most of our meetings are conducted on Zoom. I started watching YouTube tutorials and recently enrolled in an online course which will boost me from an intermediate user to an advanced user level in a matter of 8 weeks. I plan to be much more efficient in my use of PowerPoint by the end of this course. I informed my manager of these goals and he has commended me for taking this initiative and has been approaching me to do more of the PowerPoint presentations for meetings in our department. I even volunteered to do the presentation for our Team Rewards and Recognition monthly event. I got great feedback from management as everyone found my presentation to be fun and engaging. I was also voted Team Player of the Month by my peers for this, and active participation in these Zoom meetings has now risen to 50%. Bonus tip: when in doubt, use the STAR method to craft a detailed answer. STAR stands for Situation, Task, Action, Result. The STAR technique is an effective way to answer this question and just about any typical interview question. Remember to prepare your answers before the interview. Practice, practice, and practice. Rehearsing is one of the most important steps before your interview. The interview process is used to identify the most capable candidate for the job. Be ready to demonstrate why you are the right person for the job. Invest your time in preparation and you will be rewarded. In conclusion, many of you emailed me saying how discouraged you are in your job search, and I want you to know you may be disappointed, but don't be discouraged. Unemployment is temporary. Seasons change. Your efforts will bear fruit. Remember, it's not about how many no's you get, it's about that one yes. You will get your yes. God is good. Everybody has their day, and you will get yours too. Stay focused. Keep going. Something good will happen for you. I know you will have some great news for me. Thanks for staying to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my very insightful videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.